sitting at the top of the steps. My hair. Okay. Looks better, actually, most days on this vlog, but it actually was straight. I had done it and everything, and now it's wavy. And let me tell you why. I just walked home again. This time, there was actually no reason for me to walk home. So let's just do a little story time. Why don't we? So I got Lucy playing on in the kitchen. All right, let's go outside and I'll tell you guys the drama. All right, I gotta sit this way because of all of the windows. So basically there was a hose that was like touching just hot parts of the engine or whatever, and was burning a hole through it, and that triggered the check engine light. It triggered a specific code, blah blah blah. Well, so I've already talked about that in previous vlogs, so if you've watched my vlogs then you're caught up. If you haven't, then that's the first reason why it went in. So while they were then doing the hose, they called me, of course. Isn't that like how it goes? It's never just the one thing, but like, listen, we're not gonna go there. But they called me and said that there was a small crack in the radiator, which I'm actually not surprised by that, because I had been meaning to kind of get this looked at, because we knew there was some type of small little leak, because we had to fill it up with coolant. So I was just like, okay, fine, go ahead and replace it. So that got done, and I picked up the car not yesterday, but the day before. So, and as soon as I picked up the car, all I did was bring it home, which the place is like less than a mile away from my house. So I just drove the car back. It seemed to drive completely normal. Like, it really was driving normal before anyway. It had just triggered a check engine light. And the one thing I did notice, just to like the details, is that when I started the car to bring it back to the mechanic, so that when they got the part in, because I brought the car home basically after they did the diagnostic. They said, oh, it's a hose, but the hose won't come in for a week. I brought the car home. So when I started the car back up to take it back, when the hose came in and they then did the radiator, the car kind of like struggled to like, when it started running, you could definitely tell that the hose had like, you know, the hole in it. So there's air and blah, blah, blah. So you kind of lose whatever pressure and whatever it needs to like keep the car stabilized. So anyways, when they fixed the hose, and I brought the car home yesterday, I went out to just start the car because I was like, oh, you know what? I want to see how the car starts. Because when I picked it up, they had driven the car to me and it was already running. Okay, so just giving you those details, because when I started the car yesterday, it was completely normal. It didn't do that whole thing. So I was like, oh, great. They did a great job. The hose, obviously, that they put in is working, blah, blah. So this morning, I'm trying to film a plaid day, and I'm going to do like a shop with me. I was headed to Five Below, and I get in my car, but I get in my car, and my car doesn't have gas in it. Like, I would have to stop and put gas, and I was on a time crunch because I had several videos to film today. So I get in my daughter's car, and I'm going through the neighborhood. Obviously can't go very fast, you know, because there's a neighborhood speed limit. So noticed the car was driving completely normal. It wasn't until I got onto the main road, where I was then accelerating, obviously going at a higher speed on the main road, that the car went crazy. It lurched forward, like a pretty heavy lurch. When I was trying to press on the gas, the car was not wanting to go that speed. It reacted kind of violently to that gas pedal reaction. And then I noticed the RPMs were like going up and down. So the engine was definitely like not stabilizing, and it wasn't like my foot was on the gas, but it wasn't accelerating, and it wasn't going the speed that I guess it should have been going, basically. So I knew then immediately. So I made a U-turn back, and as soon as I made the U-turn, the car just stopped. Just dead stop on the street. But it wasn't like dead. It just shut itself off in drive and everything. I couldn't even like put it in park. So I was just kind of like, what is going on? So I started it up again, and it acted normal. It cranked, it started, and then shuts off completely. So, which is interesting, right? Because now we're having a completely different reaction from when I got in the car this morning. I got in the car this morning, I started it, it took off, it was running, it was going. It wasn't until that acceleration that it seemed to have done something further that then disabled it from going anywhere. So because my mechanic was just down the street, I called them. I was like, hey, because in my mind, they did something wrong. Like, in my mind, when they were putting everything back together, whatever was done was the cause of this, because this wasn't a problem at all in the car. I call them, and because I'm so close, a guy comes to me, and he brings, like, you know, his little computer reader, like whatever thing, and he starts it, it dies. So then he removes a sensor from the computer or whatever. I don't know what he removes. I do need to ask him to make sure that, obviously, I'm sure, you know, it gets put back. But basically, whatever he removed allowed the car to keep running and for me to drive it back to their shop. So he drove straight behind me. We went 30. I don't even know if the car could have gone above that. And it's at the shop now. As I was standing outside and the manager came out and they came to look at the car, the guy goes, when I plugged it in, his reader, he goes, there was no code. So, and listen, I'm not a car person, but if the car isn't spitting out a code, then maybe when they were taking things apart to put things in, maybe like the piece of the puzzle wasn't connected properly, and maybe this was like the reaction of the car. At least that's what I'm hoping, because then that would mean they just need to kind of go back in and fine tune and, you know, retrace their steps, and right? Hopefully this isn't like an actual engine problem, because I wouldn't even know like how to wrap my brain around this right now. But so then here's the kicker. You're like, why'd you walk home if your daughter's home and you have your car? I had the keys. I had the freaking keys in my purse, and so there I am walking home. My hair gets crazy. I get sweaty. I've just filmed this plaid morning part where I'm showing my outfit, plaid outfit, all the things. And there I am walking home. It is very windy. It's not cold, so I'm sweating. My hair has gone from straight to this real quick. And I'm literally within a few steps to my house when it hits me that I know where the spare key is to my car that she could have grabbed, got in my car, and come to get me. Not that it matters, because it's literally less than a mile, but I wasn't really in the mood to do this walk. So anyways, I digress. So they have the car. I haven't heard from them yet. I feel like if I haven't heard from them, then they probably know that they need to go back in and fix something. And that's probably what they're doing, because I feel like if it was a new diagnostic and a new problem that had nothing to do with them putting in the radiator and putting in the hose, I don't even know what else they actually had to take out to get to these things, right? So I'm making a general assumption here because I'm not a mechanic. I'm just trying to think as logically as I can, but we'll see. I have the windshield repair tomorrow, so depending on how today goes, we'll see if we get the car back. But I am really nervous now at this point because engine problems are very scary to me. Whatever, that is my story time. Here's Loki. My daughter just left in the car. I could have essentially have gotten back in my car, gone to Five Below, but my brain is fried from all this and I have other videos to film. So at this point, I just said, you know what? I'll resume my plaid day filming tomorrow. So, so that's the story time. This is probably going to be the vlog. This is probably going to be Saturday's vlog. Yeah, I will definitely have some sort of something to report back to you guys. So that'll be like the next clip. So I don't want to leave you guys like on a cliffhanger, like, oh, you know, what's going on? So it's just one of those deals. And, what? This is one of those deals? That wasn't even like the... That's a proper sentence, but it just wasn't placed in the... Yeah, whatever. Anyways. Oh, so my daughter went and took my car to the grocery store to get her bagels and stuff. And I think I'm going to just kind of retouch my makeup a little bit and then film, but for my main channel. And then again, I'll give you guys like the update. I hope you enjoyed the Friday's vlog with the cozy nighttime routine. I really loved filming that. So I did some present wrapping, got some presents under the tree right there. And Loki is getting a lot bigger too, by the way. And he's not really fitting under the tree, but he still like tries to shove his body under there. And the tree just like makes all this noise. It kind of reminds me of that scene in The Grinch where he like picks up the tree and he's like, ho, ho, ho. I don't know why, but... All right, now I feel like I'm just blabbering. Do you ever feel like whenever you like kind of go through something, you just want to keep talking? I guess I just don't want to be left to my thoughts on this. I just kind of like want to know what's going on. But anyhow, I will see you guys in the next clip for hopefully a positive update. I'm going to think all positive thoughts on this. Two minutes later from me filming this last part, my phone rang and it was the shop calling about the car, and it is very good news, or at least in my mind it's very good news. As I decided while I was waiting for them to call in those 2 minutes from when I filmed, I came straight into my office so that I could go ahead and drop this clip in and start getting it uploaded. But where was I going with that? Oh, I was watching myself back and I was actually onto something, and I was right. So it turned out to be the hose, and it turned out to be the clamp. So whatever clamp that they used, he said, with the hose, it like kind of stripped itself, and it and I guess like when I had accelerated and the more pressure, whatever, the hose came off completely. So it ended up being just the clamp was bad. It wasn't good enough to kind of like hold on. So I'm not there. I'm not making any sort of repairs. The battery died, so I had to change the battery. But they said that they put in better clamps, and that was it. We're good to go. So yeah, I guess, you know, my thought process, like I explained, just trying to like think logically, it couldn't have been something new, you know, yeah, so it just ended up being that when they inserted the hose and the clamp just wasn't, I don't know, it just came off completely, I guess. So new clamps, we're all good to go. I'm just waiting for my daughter to come back from the grocery store. That's kind of how fast all of this transpired. and the car is good to go. So very exciting. This is a massive relief. I'm sure you can kind of like just see it in my face, because anytime an engine just like, listen, I'm sure y'all have your own stories, because let me tell you, yeah, it's stressful, but this is the best outcome that could have happened, and these guys really took care of me. They came to get me, and so amazing job. So anyways, I will ask them about the sensor, make sure that got connected back in, and other than that, the problem is solved. The car hopefully is good to go. Again, I still need to go out and drive it. You know, the next step is going 45 miles an hour, 50 miles an hour, getting on the tollway and driving, you know, 90 miles an hour in Dallas. So it'll all just kind of like, you know, little baby steps. But anyways, that's the end of today's story time video. My audience is like 99% women, and I bet all of you are like bored to tears. If you made it to the end of this, just, you know what, congratulations. Jumanji, you know what I mean? So that's that. Waiting for my daughter, she'll be here soon, and then I'll see you guys for tomorrow's vlog.